Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome our parents, students, and staff. I want to welcome you to the Lenape Regional High School District here at Shawnee High School. I'd like to start off by thanking Michaela Komilovich for her musical talents. Thank you, Michaela. And at this time, I'd ask you all to rise as I bring up Marianne Rotoliano to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to welcome from the Lenape Regional High School District Office, Dr. Justin Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. On behalf of the Lenape Regional High School District, it is my great pleasure to acknowledge the amazing achievement of all of our Shawnee students here this evening at Shawnee's People's Choice Ceremony. To help celebrate this important occasion, we are honored to have with us Lenape Regional High School District Board of Education member, Mr. Steve Lee of Medford Lakes. Thank you for coming, Mr. Lee. Parents and guardians, thank you for all you have done to help your students become people who embody and exhibit important values, people who make special contributions, people chosen by the staff of Shawnee High School for their exemplary attributes and actions worthy of emulation. Students, who you are, what you've done, has stood out and stayed with your teachers in such a powerful way they would like to let you know. You are stars. We hope from this evening you take strength and confidence to help you on your journeys to graduation and college and careers. Thank you. And now, once again, Mr. Matt Campbell.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. So we're here tonight to celebrate our 10th annual People's Choice Awards. This event is annually hosted by the Renaissance Club under the supervision of advisor Mrs. Kristen Smith. So I want a nice round of applause for Mrs. Smith. And also Mrs. Ferris and Mrs. Richards, who put this whole nice evening together, so I want to thank them. So for those of you who don't know, Renaissance is an organization that is designed to promote positive school culture by celebrating both students and teachers. The People's Choice Awards are a way to celebrate students for a variety of reasons. Understandably, this is an award or a recognition that is hard to quantify. It is very subjective, and some of the students have been nominated for their work ethic, others for the joy and kindness that they bring on a daily basis, others for their courage or their compassion that they've shown over the past few years. For each staff member, the reason for nominating their People's Choice selection are as unique as they are. In a few minutes, the teachers will stand up here and share with you their justification so that you can see why these 25 young ladies and gentlemen that have brought them to be honored here tonight. This award ceremony is counterpart to our Crystal Apple, where the students are given the chance to nominate a teacher who has had a positive impact on them and their lives. So tonight, the teachers are given the opportunity to return the favor. So without any further ado, here is my People's Choice nomination, Ms. Dana Goldstein. So as a principal of this wonderful high school, I'm privileged to work with so many outstanding young men and women. So when it comes to the time of the year when we're asked to nominate for the People's Choice, it's a struggle. And most years it's hard to pick just one student. But this year wasn't one of those years. I've had the privilege of working with Dana for the past 4 years. And so that's why I've selected her to be my People's Choice Award. I first met her at my when she was a freshman at my Council of Leaders. And ever since that very first meeting, she's carried herself in a manner that is well beyond her years. I know that being a teenager is not easy, but you would never know it to look at Dana. I cannot remember a time over the past 4 years when I've seen her rattled or not in complete control of whatever the situation. She has emerged as one of the true leaders of our school, as demonstrated as being class president. And also, she's been a 3-time selection as our upstander poster. One thing that stands out about Dana is her positive attitude that she infuses into each and every one of her activities. She approaches everything she does with a level of passion that is hard to match and then becomes contagious for those around her. It is often said you get out of your high school experience what you put into it. I can attest to the fact that Dana Goldstein has made the most of every opportunity. And I have 2 young daughters, and I would hope that they could become a lot like Dana. So I want to congratulate you, and please accept my People's Choice. So we're going to...
My People's Choice nominee is Erica Repstock. I first met Erica last year as one of the older siblings of a PLTW student. This year I've gotten the opportunity to get to know her through Science League. She was my solo participant in the Physics 1 team, and she carried it very well. The highlight of the season for me came when I got to bestow upon her the title that of until late I held as my own. She is now known as the Queen of Physics. She earned this honor when she scored above the rest of the regional competition, earning the highest grade for that month's test. In addition to Science League, a special engineering project afforded me the opportunity to see her tenacious and determined side. I am blown away by her ability to define a challenge and take ownership of it responsibly and diligently. She is an all-around role model and an absolute pleasure to be around. When she bounds into my room smiling, I know something good is about to happen. I can't wait to see what her future behind Shawnee holds. This woman is going places. Thank you, Erica, for brightening my days this year.
Hi, my People's Choice nominee is Danny Hill. Most people accept the standard definition of courage, namely to face difficult or dangerous situations and attempt to overcome the obstacles regardless of the fear or trepidation. For the typical high school students, fortunately, these situations are rarely life-altering or life-threatening. This is not the case for my People's Choice nominee, Danny Hill. Oh, many people know that Danny is striving to beat a serious illness, but few know the strength of character he has shown during this ordeal. For example, Danny has acted as a friend and role model to those who are experiencing similar tribulations, and he continues to be a good friend and supporter of his siblings, regardless of his own personal difficulties. Danny's teachers commend him for attempting to keep up with his schoolwork and studies despite being plagued by fatigue and apprehension. His doctors and nurses are astounded at his ability to display compassion towards others while keeping a sense of humor during treatments and hospitalizations. Finally, Eleanor Roosevelt said it well: you have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with courage and with the best you have to give. Judging by that standard, Danny comes out on top.
My People's Choice nominee was Liam Majewski. Upon meeting William Majewski his sophomore year, the first thing I learned was he likes to be called Liam. Liam is full of life, and while there have been things that he has had to overcome and paddle through, he has always had a smile on his face. He strives to ensure that those around him are taken care of and are happy. Liam often puts others before himself, but this is a trait he tends to keep hidden. While I have only had him in class for a short period of time his sophomore year, he has grown to be someone I rely on. He is the vice president of the Random Acts of Kindness Club, and I know that no matter what, I can count on him. Liam has big dreams, and as long as he continues to paddle through life the way he has been, he will amaze all of us. I can't think of anyone who deserves to be recognized for the things he does more than Liam, because he often does things without seeking recognition. He inspires me every day. My People's Choice nominee is Rachel Winarsic. A hero is someone who is selfless, who is generous in spirit, who just tries to give back as much as possible and help people. A hero is someone who steps up when everyone else backs down. For myself, her teammates, and her classmates, Rachel Winarsic has very much been a hero throughout Shawnee High School and is truly deserving of this award. I've had the pleasure of coaching Rachel for 4 years on the Shawnee girls swim team, and her influence, even as a freshman, quickly permeated our team. She's a true model of integrity, a selfless team player, and an exceptional role model for other swimmers. Rachel is wise beyond her years. She refuses to pick sides or even get involved in drama. She always does the right thing, and everybody feels comfortable going to her for advice. In practice, she is always intense, keeping everyone focused on the team goals. Always a model of perseverance, her competitors learn to never count her out of a race. In class, if anyone did not have a lab partner, I would always observe Rachel quickly rearranging to make sure that everyone was included. Rachel is extremely mature, level-headed, and compassionate. It's hard to remember sometimes that she's only 18. I feel like she's been by my side for years, helping to lead our team, and it's hard to imagine the school without her.
By force of sheer habit, I usually wind up momming my students. This year, though, I literally felt like Hallie Githens mommed me. Come on up, Hallie. Hallie is by far one of the kindest, maturest, most well-grounded students I had ever had the pleasure to teach. She displays kindness towards her classmates, offering food, pencils, advice, and whatever else they need on a daily basis. In addition to being on top of her school game, Hallie is on top of her human game. She has never maligned anyone. She treats everyone with respect and kindness. Most importantly, she radiates generosity and self-assurance without any condescension. Hallie, I really appreciate having you in class this year. I look forward to seeing your smiling face daily, and I'm very grateful for your organization and humor. You keep me on track, you make me smile, and you listen to all my silly stories with actual interest. With your graciousness, you have made our classroom a home, a place where we all feel secure and understood. Your grace is a beautiful gift, and I hope you continue to carry it with you throughout the rest of your life. And thank you so very much for sharing that gift with me.
My People's Choice Award winner is Gianna Glatz. Gianna is a student in my Accounting 1 course who has made a great impression on me this year. She comes to class each day with something pleasant to say and always has a smile to share. She is thoughtful of others in class and always willing to help. She listens to those around her and is aware of their needs, stepping in to help when needed. She makes me smile every day I have her in class, and her thoughtfulness and appreciation of others makes me remember why I went into teaching in the first place. She will be successful in college next year and in life because of her kindness and positive attitude, along with the fact that she applies herself to succeed in her work, sports, activities, and interests, consistently including time to help others. She is truly a gift to those who are lucky enough to be around her.
Hi, my People's Choice Award goes to Emily Newton. Emily is a joy to be around, in and out of class. She has an infectious laugh, and she participates in class openly by openly sharing her life experiences, both past and present. When there's a project assigned, she gets so excited that she'll do it for homework, then come to class the next day and assist the other students with their work. She helps get supplies ready, distributes work, and helps with cleaning up afterwards. When her dad was assigned to overseas duty, Emily was very upset. She immediately went to her counselor and her teachers to explain what was happening in her life and to apologize for not being able to give 100%. Emily knows herself well and is able to express her feelings. We call that emotional intelligence. She operates on an open-hearted level. She's not afraid to ask for help or advice, Emily is not afraid to cry, but she is best when she smiles because it comes from her heart. My parting advice for you is to find your balance. Thank you, Emily, for shining your light on Shawnee and on me. We will miss you very much when you graduate.
My People's Choice nominee is Jessica Pratt. I am pleased to nominate Jessica Pratt for the 2017 People's Choice Award. I've had the privilege of knowing Jess over the past 4 years in my accounting class. She always has a bright smile when she enters the classroom, and her positive attitude and caring nature are contagious. She is an excellent role model for her peers. Her motivation, drive, and determination will help her attain the goals she sets for herself. I will miss her next year, but I know that she will be successful as she continues her studies in accounting. Best of luck in all your future endeavors.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce Mark Miller as my People's Choice Award recipient. Over the last 4 seasons as Mark's track coach, I've gotten the opportunity to see just how special of a person he is. My first year coaching track, I saw a kid who was constantly smiling and had an infectious, positive attitude. I took notice of that right away and went up to him and told him that his nickname would be Smiley. Fast forward 4 years later, and the same young adult is still smiling as he was on the day I first met him. For anyone who knows how long track meets are, Mark was always there to entertain everyone, including myself. Mark is such a rare talent as an athlete and has been a pleasure to watch these last 4 years, lapping runners around the track. Off the track, Mark has a rare ability to bring out the best of his peers and have kids look up to him. Mark's positivity, attitude, motivation, determination, and larger-than-life attitude are just a few things that sets Mark apart from his peers. I want to wish you the best of 4 lucks next year at Hillsdale.
I would like to introduce my People's Choice nominee, Mr. Christopher Pagliuso. It has been my pleasure to work with Chris for the last 4 years. Together, we've gotten our driver's license, climbed a wall, not really, I climbed it, he watched, designed a web page, and learned how to look and buy a car. Chris is compassionate and courteous. His warm-hearted nature allows everyone to feel welcome. His smile is contagious. His peers know that Chris will always be there for them. His conscientious mindset has given him both academic and athletic distinctions. However, it is because of his character and humanity that I give Christopher Pagliuso this People's Choice Award.
My People's Choice nominee is Leah Schneiderite. Leah is a classic case of someone who doesn't give herself enough credit. She is academically motivated despite challenges and struggles in her personal life. Leah deserves recognition for her steady work ethic every day, inside and outside of the classroom, as well as the self-motivation to want to improve herself in all aspects of life. Leah has had many revelations and experienced much growth this year as she prepares to embark on the next chapter. So much transition hasn't been easy. She has faced and continues to face things even adults struggle with. Through it all, she has demonstrated beauty inside and out, intelligence, independence, determination, and clarity of purpose. She is definitely a special person to me. Leah might say I have impacted her life, but she probably doesn't realize how much she has impacted my life and who I am as a teacher. I am immensely proud of her.
My People's Choice nomination goes to Luke Newman. Luke is an absolute pleasure to have as a student. He is funny, energetic, and always so positive. Luke is also extremely intelligent, yet he is very humble. I recall an instance where I made a mistake in class. When the rest of the class was busy working on a project, Luke quietly approached me and so politely pointed out my mistake. Luke is respectful, courteous, and always so friendly. Whenever I see him outside of class, Luke always takes the time to say a quick hello to me with a smile that brightens my day. Luke is kind and helpful to his peers. During class discussions, Luke gives others a chance to respond. But if no one participates, Luke is the first to raise his hand. His enthusiasm helps to make the class a fun and productive learning environment. Students with Luke's integrity are few and far between. Luke is an all-around impressive young man, and I'm so lucky to have gotten the chance to know you and be your teacher. You're welcome.
I would like to invite Aiden Khalil to the podium. Aiden Khalil is always smiling, as you can see. He's a student in my honors pre-calculus class, and yes, he even smiles when he comes into math class. If a day is not going well, all you need is to have Aiden walk into the room, and you will be smiling. I hope he realizes what a positive effect he has on those around him. I enjoy having mathematical conversations with him, discussing alternate methods of finding solutions, or how fun a problem is. Aiden puts forth 100% effort into this challenging course. He is always willing to help a fellow student and share his knowledge. He should be proud of his accomplishments. I know I am. But perhaps more importantly than all of these previously mentioned traits, I truly look forward to grading Aiden's papers because incorporated somewhere on the paper, whether it's part of a graph or just on the side of the paper, there is always a picture of an elephant. Congratulations, Aiden, on a much-deserved People's Choice Award.
I would like Michaela Karmelovich to join me. She thought she was coming here to play the piano. I hope I finally had the opportunity to surprise her. We live in a culture of harsh criticism, seen and heard in the news, during debates, and on social media. There are many who seem centered on themselves rather than their fellow neighbor. Modesty and humility seem like rarities at times. Kindness like a lost art of humanity. But there is a certain kind of spirit, one that is truly genuine and altruistic, generous and selfless, that prevails despite the coldness of its surroundings, that still sees the best in everyone, everywhere. And it is that kind of spirit, the one that will affect great change in this world, that I see in Michaela. Being someone who sees the good in everyone, she deserves to hear about the good in her. Though Michaela is too humble to admit it, she is an amazing musician. She doesn't just play the piano, she is a pianist. And as such, she is a true talent, a gift, for music is one language through which we can all communicate and relate. Michaela offers that gift of connectivity in various ways, though. To see the best in everyone, one must have a degree of compassion and sympathy. To have compassion and sympathy, one must be able to listen and understand. Such are the attributes and abilities that make Michaela both a genuine person and a gifted pianist, as she reaches people and sees people in ways few others can. Michaela, you are my people's choice because you are too selfless to ever choose yourself. By nature, you are a giver to all who surround you. By default, you are not always a recipient of the same kindness. And yet you continue to give to family, to friends, to all who know you. And that is not only admirable, it is rare. But I want you to do me a favor. I want you to see what I see. A survivor, a giver, a lover of animals, people, life. I want you to hear the music I hear, that comes not only from your piano, but from your soul, because it is beautiful and moving and harmonious. I want you to have the same faith in yourself that you have in others. I want you to be fearless, see your potential, listen to your heart, because there isn't anything you can't do. Whatever you decide to do once you leave our halls, one thing is certain: you are going to give to this world. You are already a gift to this world.
My People's Choice Award is Mr. Boaz Matlack. I've had the privilege of getting to know Boaz Matlack over the last 4 years as a student athlete in soccer, bowling, and in the classroom, and he has impressed me at every step along the way. Well, actually, Boaz, you weren't that good at bowling. But I'm impressed that you joined something different and gave it a try anyway. I actually think that Boaz's desire to experience new perspectives and try new things is one of the reasons I've been so impressed with him during his time at Shawnee. Over that period, I've not only been able to watch Boaz develop into a fine young man, but I've also watched him challenge his peers to do the same. In soccer, he accepted nothing less than his best effort, encouraging his teammates to do the same, and I have no doubts that his work ethic helped to move our program in the right direction. In the classroom, Boaz always challenges his classmates to think about difficult and controversial issues in meaningful ways. His participation in discussions has helped set the tone for a classroom climate of inquiry and openness to new viewpoints. In short, Boaz has been a role model for his classmates to emulate while always working his hardest on the field and pursuing a continual thirst for knowledge in the classroom. My second person I will be speaking about tonight was Mr. Nick Tama's nomination, John Cahill, but I think he'll know why I'll call him Jack Cahill. As a four-year member of our school soccer team, Jack Cahill displayed perseverance, patience, and pride. Throughout his high school career, Jack has balanced his academic, social, and athletic life in admirable fashion. The crest of our soccer program contains the words community, development, professionalism, and tradition. As a coach, I am proud to see Jack transfer these terms into components of his life outside of Shawnee soccer. Always with a smile on his face, Jack never backs down from a challenge in the classroom or now on the tennis court. We're going to miss you, Jack. You have been a great role model for student athletes at Shawnee.
When I think of Mark Beachy, he makes me smile. My People's Choice nomination is Senior Mark Beachy. I first got to know Beachy, sorry I never call him Mark, his junior year. Beachy had gym while I had the adaptive physical education gym class. Beachy would always take the first 5 to 10 minutes in his gym class to interact with my students, whether it was a high five and a friendly hello, sitting and talking with them, or having a catch with a football. He spent time with them and making each and every one of them feel very special. This year, I was lucky enough to get Beachy in my health and physical education class for the whole year. The very first day of school in health class, Beachy moved a chair next to my desk and announced to the whole class, "This is my seat, and I'm going to be Miss Fan's favorite student this year." And that was tough because I had some pretty good kids in that class. Well, Beachy, after an entire year of your optimistic attitude, hilarious sense of humor, your compassion for others, and of course, the way you made me smile every day, I can honestly say, without a question, you have positively been my favorite this year. Thank you very much.
My People's Choice nomination was for Max Van Doren. I've only known Max for 2 years, and in that time he's left quite an impression on me. He is a highly motivated, hardworking gentleman who is always extremely helpful. He always offers to lend a hand whenever he is able, and I would consider him to be a role model and a definition of what it is to be a great friend. He has excellent communication and people skills, which allows him to make any of his fellow classmates feel accepted. I am honored to nominate him as my People's Choice recipient, and I expect great things from him in the future.
The person I chose for my People's Choice Award is Grace Gibson. Grace is dedicated and enthusiastic as the president of the Kids for Wish Kids Club. Grace has been an active member of the club for 4 years. She helps run our events and does the record keeping for the 200-plus club members. Her enthusiasm for Make-A-Wish has helped our club raise over $20,000 in the last 4 years. Grace has been responsible for starting several fundraisers, and she keeps the entire club informed about the needs and expectations for each and every event. Grace will be sorely missed. It seems like she has always been a part of this club, and I look forward to our early morning talks, lunch and learn meetings, and working together on each and every event. Best wishes as you move on to Elizabethtown to pursue your dreams.
I happily nominate Ariana Speranza for the People's Choice Award. Over the past 3 years, I've been gifted with the opportunity to know Ariana as her French teacher. She's a caring and an honest young person with a strong sense of self. French is not the easiest of subjects, especially once one's reached the upper levels of the language. Ariana has proven above many others to be hardworking and positive. Her motivation to learn is without question. Ariana also has a positive attitude in everything and is outwardly friendly to everyone in her class. She has a drive and a perseverance to follow her goals despite the difficulties that may be present. It is these qualities that make Ariana an exceptional student and person.
Although I have never had the pleasure of having this student in my class, he has been an integral part of my swim team for the last 4 years, and my People's Choice Award for 2017 is Timmy O'Hanlon. Timmy is a strong swimmer, even though he hasn't been one of the top point scorers on the team, but he has demonstrated leadership skills for years and has always contributed to the team in valuable ways. He has gone out of his way over the years to make new swimmers feel welcome, no matter what their ability level is, and he helped novice swimmers improve their starts and turns on his own without being prompted or asked to. This year, he was a stellar captain and led the team in pre-meet cheers and pump-up speeches to get his team psyched up and ready to go. Timmy always kept spirits high, maintained a sense of humor, and made this an incredibly fun and successful season for us. He has earned the respect of fellow swimmers and Shawnee staff with his maturity, kindness, and strong character. Timmy will be greatly missed on the team next year, and I wish him all the best.
Over the past year, I have gotten to know Dimitri Faltis as his math teacher and as assistant AD. He is a happy, hardworking, enthusiastic, and caring student who is an easy selection for my People's Choice Award. In the hallway, classroom, or even outside on the practice fields, Dimitri is always ready to say hello, smile, and ask how my day is going. He wants to be involved with everything and has such a positive attitude on everything he does. Even when he couldn't run at a track meet this year because of an injury, Dimitri was recording statistics for the first home meet. He didn't sulk or shy away from the duty, but rather, just like everything else he does, he was focused and dedicated, taking his responsibility very seriously and asking plenty of questions to make sure everything was done well. Dimitri has a tremendous work ethic and positive attitude in class. He will ask questions, come for extra help, and works well with other students. When we work with partners, he really wants to make sure he and his partner understand the material. Dimitri's enthusiasm and responsibility will serve Shawnee well for the next few years. We are lucky to have him.
The lovely and talented Marianne Rotiliano opened our ceremony tonight with her beautiful singing voice, singing the national anthem. This is not the first time I've had the privilege of hearing Marianne sing, but the second, as she opened for us last year as well. Thank you, Marianne, for sharing your talent with us tonight. Marianne is not only a singer, but she's quite a writer, too. While this ceremony gives Shawnee staff the opportunity to nominate outstanding students, Shawnee's Crystal Apple switches the roles and provides students a chance to nominate faculty members and award. Mary Ann took this opportunity and wrote the most beautiful poem for the teacher she selected. She graciously took the time to nominate and recognize a teacher, write a lovely poem, and be here after school hours to present an award to her teacher. Mary Ann patiently waited her chance, not once, not twice, but 3 separate times to present her teacher with this award, as it had to be rescheduled due to unforeseen circumstances. I got to know what a mature, compassionate, and gracious young lady Mary Ann is while working with her for this ceremony, and it is my honor to present Mary Ann as my People's Choice nomination.
My People's Choice recipient this year is Sebastiano Lombardo. I first became acquainted with Sebastiano, Sebi, the summer before his freshman year. At that time, I helped schedule an oral proficiency test for him in Italian with the assistance of my world language coordinator, Miss Rabel. Since that first encounter, I have seen him grow as a student and as a school leader. In the morning, I notice him smiling and graciously holding the door for his classmates near the cafeteria entrance. I do notice that. In choral class, he also shows his leadership ability, offering his peers guidance and ideas for choral group activities. Sebastiano is an authentic person with a lot of charisma. He is true to himself and others. For these reasons, it has been a pleasure getting to know him this year, and I have no doubt his future will be very bright. Okay. On behalf of Shawnee administration, I would like to congratulate all of the People's Choice recipients. I'd also like to mention that the seniors may wear these awards at graduation, so don't forget, you can wear these at graduation. And congratulations to everybody. Everyone did a fantastic job. Good evening.